with you yesterday, right? So I think you were also able to follow whatever I have given to you through the recorded videos. May I kind of know like how many of you have any doubts, any sort of doubts with whatever videos I have shared? May I just know like how many of you have any sort of doubts with the videos that I have shared? May I please know that? Anyone? No doubts? No doubts at all. So if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask me. So I guess like today's first 15 minutes will make use of it to answer the doubts. Then we'll actually get to the topic. Okay, so please ask me your doubts. So you can just type in the chat box. If you want, you can enable your audio as well. Please let me know. So why is nobody asking any doubts? Please feel free. Please feel free to ask me your doubts. You can either enable your audio also, or you can just ask me through the chat box. Can you please tell about free float market capitalization? Okay, so that is a pure theoretical stuff. If you directly Google, also the same answers you're going to get. So what they are basically meaning is the amount of money that has been raised by listing a company on a stock exchange. So if I list my company on the stock exchange, how much money I have actually raised by selling of the shares at that particular exchange? What does we mean by free float market capitalization? Okay, so anything about whatever I have covered to you, like in the introductory session too, I have shared some content, like I have shared some video. So can we, yeah, okay, so that's what we're going to discuss today, support and resistance zones. Can we buy foreign shares? Yeah, so right now brokers like SDFC, so SDFC is kind of providing an option to purchase shares from the international markets. And Seroda is also coming with an option. So Muralidhar, like I hope it's clear for you. Ashwajit, I will come to that. Sahil, I hope I have answered your question. So Seroda Upstocks is also coming with options for directly investing in foreign stocks like Apple, Google, Tesla, all these things. Apart from that, there are options like you invest in mutual funds. Okay, mutual funds that come kind of invest in overseas companies. I didn't understand about the stop loss and target sell clearly while working with Demat account. Okay, sure. So Dilip is kind of asking. Okay, so okay, I'll show you. So I hope you can see my screen, right? Now, if I want, I can actually mention. So along with taking a trade, I can actually mention both my target and stop loss. So stop loss is nothing else but the maximum amount of money that I'm willing to risk in a particular trade, and target is the kind of money that is the kind of price that I'm expecting the price to move up. Okay, I'll just show you. I'll just give you an example. Let's have a look at the chart of IOC. Okay, so this is what we see. This is the chart of IOC we are seeing. So right now, what I can say is, I'll just so currently what I can kind of say is the price is actually at a resistance region. Okay, currently the price is actually trading at a resistance region. Resistance is nothing else but a place from where the stock price drops down. So I see that the stock price is kind of finding a resistance here, meaning the price is kind of hitting here, then it is falling down. Now, once again, what I can say is the price has actually approached the resistance region. Now, what I can understand is there is a high probability that the price could actually fall down from this level. So this is what we kind of call as a resistance level. Resistance level meaning a price level from where the stock price has a tendency to drop down. Okay. Now, two things can happen. Either the resistance level is going to get broken with some good volume. So people like for some of you this will be kind of quite new. I understand. Don't worry. Okay, so I think I'll get started with the concept of support and resistance. Then I'll actually can explain you how to look at target, how to define your stop loss, and I think we'll get into the topic else, maybe taking the questions, because since some of you are asking questions that is apart from whatever we have discussed, maybe it's the styles that we're going to divert along. Okay, now In the case of stock markets, it is a lot dependent on psychology. A lot dependent on psychology meaning people have a feeling that the price will actually pick up from a particular region, and they also have a feeling that the price has a chance to fall down from a particular region. Okay, now I'll tell you why. See, during Diwali sale and all, when you see when you kind of hear that okay, there is a 20% discount on this particular thing. Okay, when you kind of hear that there is a 20% discount on this particular mobile or something, and if you were somebody who were actually looking forward to purchase that mobile, definitely you'll think about purchasing it because now you're getting it at a 20% off. So, what is that feeling that is actually making you buy that particular mobile? It is nothing else but the fact that you were actually thinking like you were actually planning to purchase it earlier, and now when the price has dropped down you feel it is worth purchasing it now. Okay, it is actually worth purchasing it now because the price has dropped down. So how many of you will think about purchasing like that? So now we see we have a breakout. The resistance level has been broken. Maybe breakout is not yet validated, but you can say it has been broken. Okay, so what is that feeling? What is that feeling that is kind of making you buy that particular mobile? So it's your emotions, right? You feel it's worth buying now. You're getting it at a discount. Okay, now what if the price goes back to the normal value? After the Diwali sale, what if the price actually goes back to the normal value? Then you won't actually think about buying it. You'll be like, okay, I'll once again I'll buy it when the price actually comes down at a discount. You'll think about buying it once the price actually reaches or the price actually comes to a discount. Okay, so that in the case of stock markets too, there is always something called as value. Okay, so not just in stock markets, in our personal life also. So we give more importance to things that has some good value, right? We give good importance to things that actually have some good value. Now let's talk about value. When we talk about value, in the case of price of stock, so that is what we see on the right hand side. So if you have watched the introductory video, you must have actually understood that also. In the case of price of stocks, there are certain price levels where people feel it is worth purchasing the stock. People feel that it is worth purchasing the stock at this particular price. Okay, so those prices, when the price falls down to those price levels, people start accumulating it or people start purchasing it in large quantities. Why? Because they feel if they purchase it at this particular level, they expect the price to actually move up. Okay, if they actually purchase it at this particular level, they kind of expect the price to move up, and that is the very reason why they purchase it. I'll just show you. So, for example, I can say that this price level is actually a support region. So support region meaning a price level from where the stock price picks up, and resistance region meaning a price level from where the stock price actually faces difficulty to pick up. Now I realize that the stock price is facing a resistance over here, meaning it is kind of finding some difficulty to move above this particular level. So that is what we mean by resistance level. Support level is nothing else but a price level from where the stock price picks up. Looking at this chart, it is very much evident that the price has actually tried to pick up from these levels multiple number of times. So once it tried over here, again it tried over here it has tried. Here also it has kind of tried to pick up, and from here it was kind of successful in picking up. So all the other cases it just gave a try. Now we are seeing in real time that the price is kind of facing a resistance at this region, at this price level of like 77.8. The stock is facing a resistance. Looking at the chart, I understand that earlier too the price has faced a resistance over here. Okay, so please understand that resistance is a price level from where the stock price finds difficulty to pick up, and support is a price level from where the stock price feels some difficulty to fall down. Or in other simple words, you can actually write this down in a piece of paper or something. Support is a price level from where the stock price picks up or bounces up, and resistance is a price level from where the stock price falls down or bounces down. Okay, so please note this down. Support is a price level from where the stock price picks up, and resistance is a price level from where the stock price falls down. Now, may I just ask you this question? Why do you think that stock price picks up from the support and stock price falls down from the resistance? Is there any particular reason for the same? Any idea? Any idea? Just try thinking, just try answering. So I gave you an example early. So just try to relate things. Just try to answer. Why do you think stock price uh, tries to fall down from a support? Sorry, falls down from a resistance and picks up from a support. Yes, someone is trying to answer, I guess. Yes, please try giving an answer. So you're not getting any answers. So just okay. The that might be the company's threshold. No. Yeah, mass mentality. Value seen by the people for the stock. Perfect. Feeling of overpriced. It is the highest capability of that particular company. Naturally, when it isn't getting picked up, stock price falls out. Okay. People will buy more at support level. No, not at all IPO. So what I'll see, what we can kind of understand is that, see, the price of the stock was earlier being traded at this level. Okay, the price was actually being traded somewhere over here. Then what kind of happened is that there was a huge spike in demand for the shares, which eventually picked up the prices. Now, once the price reaches this particular level, what kind of happens is that since the stock was actually earlier facing a kind of resistance at this region, so earlier too, the stock was actually finding some sort of resistance over here. So now what kind of happens is once the price has reached this particular region, the stock has actually fell, or the people have actually started to feel that, okay, the last time the price actually reached here, from here the price has actually fell down. Okay, so now what will you do? So you bought somewhere over here. Now once the price actually reaches a resistance level, that was tested earlier. Tested earlier meaning a level from where the stock price earlier dropped down. What will you start feeling? So you will feel that okay, maybe there is a high chance that the price is once again going to find a resistance over here. Okay. So what I want to mention to you is a level that kind of acts as a resistance. There is a high chance that this level can once again act as resistance. Okay. So it was acting as a resistance over here. High chance it is going to act as resistance over here also. Now, to say that this resistance level is actually getting broken, we need the price of the stock to close somewhere above the resistance level. If the price actually closes above this particular resistance level, I can say, okay, the resistance has been broken. So till then, when the price is actually trading below the resistance, I can say, okay, the stock has not broken its resistance level. So people please understand that resistance is nothing else but a price level from where the stock has a tendency to fall down. Just a tendency. I can't tell you that 100% from the resistance level the price is going to fall down or something. So what you should kind of realize is that resistance is a price level from where the stock has a tendency to fall down. So it may fall down, it may not fall down. Okay, so it is just see, stock market is all about probability. So we are basically making use of probabilities to get the best trades. So there's a high chance the price is going to face a resistance over here, then it is going to fall down. Now, some of you, okay, now the markets are just about to close. So 3:30, another 1 minute. So right now what I see is, okay, the price has once again faced a rejection at the resistance. Rejection at the resistance meaning the price was not able to break the resistance level. It touched the resistance level, then it fell down. So can somebody just enable the audio? So can somebody be something like a volunteer or something? So I'll just let you know like how to read chart. I'll just give you a basic introduction to reading charts. Anyone just enable your audio? Is there someone? Yeah, somebody has come up. Yeah, hello.
Hello,
Yeah, your good name is Arvind. What's your good name?
Rehan.
Oh, you're Rehan. Great. So you're the one who asked question yesterday, right?
What?
You asked some questions yesterday, right, Rehan?
Yeah.
Okay. So Rehan, like let's kind of switch to the 1 day time frame. So as I told you, so this is the DMAT brokers platform. So we actually create a DMAT account to start trading. And Rehan, which stock do you want to have a look at?
Um, Reliance, I guess the same as yesterday.
Okay, Reliance. Okay, some other stock. Reliance we saw yesterday also, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know any major
Reliance,
companies.
Reliance. See, only companies that is in Indian markets we can see. Google and all is an international stock. So for trading purpose, we can trade only for Indian stocks. Okay. So this is the chart of Reliance that we are seeing right now. Okay, this is the chart of Reliance that we are currently seeing.
Right.
So if I look at this is a 1 day chart. So 1 day chart meaning one candle, one particular candle over here depicts 1 day duration of time. So this is 1 day interval. So one candle over here actually tells me that this is what happened during this particular day. So today is a Wednesday. So what has happened during this particular Wednesday is being shown by this simple green candle.
So it went up by that amount.
Yeah, it went up. So we have two kinds of colors. So one color is green, the other one is red. So what a green candle basically depicts is that the price has actually picked up during this particular interval of time. So in this particular interval of time, that is today's interval is a day. Okay. So during this particular day, the price has actually picked up. So that is the reason the color of the candle is green. Now, if I have a look at the red colored candle, what I realize is the price of the stock has actually fell down during this particular day. The price of the stock has actually dropped down during this particular day. And due to the very reason, the color is red. So price falling meaning color will be red. Price picking up meaning color will be green. Okay.
Okay.
Now, there is a line, there is a thin line. So are you able to follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. So people like what you should understand is in the case of a green candle, in the case of a green candle, what it basically tells us is during this particular interval of time, the price has actually picked up. Now, if I switch to a different time frame, so this is a 1 day time frame here, meaning one candle will tell me that this is 1 day interval of time. If I switch to a 1 hour candle, so this is also green. So 1 hour candle basically tells me that this is what happened during this particular 1 hour. The last 1 hour, that is from 2:30 to 3:30, what has happened is being shown by this particular candle. If I have a closer look, I see that the color is green. Okay. Then I see, okay, the bottom of the candle. Okay, so you kind of call this as a body of the candle, the rectangular shaded region over here is what we kind of mention as the body of the candle. So what I realized is this particular candle has opened over here. That is around 1445. The
Right.
opening price of the candle like 1445, and the topmost body. This is what we kind of call as the closing price. The closing price is like 1450. Okay, the candle has opened somewhere at 1445. It has actually closed at around 1450. Okay, so this is what we see in the body of the candle. The price opened over here. It actually closed over here.
Okay, wait. So in the day chart, why aren't the opening and closings aligning with each other? Like the previous day's
Yeah.
closing does not align with the opening
So,
of the next day.
okay, fine. I'll come into that just a second. So in the case of the day's chart, what I see is the opening price is at 1430. The closing price is at around 1450. Okay. Now our friend is asking why the closing price is not the same as the opening price the next day. So what I realized is yesterday the closing was at around 1424. Okay. So this is the red candle. So in the case of a red candle, I told you the price falls down in the case of a red candle. So it will be the other way around. For the red candle, the opening price will be at the top. The opening price was around 1448. The price has actually closed at around 1424. The
Right.
closing price is actually lower than the opening price in the case of a red candle. In the case of a green candle, the closing price is actually greater than the opening price. Price opened over here, it closed over here. Okay. Now,
Right.
what I realized is this particular candle, the closing was over here, 1423 something, and the next day the price has actually opened at around 1430. So this is your doubt, right?
Yeah.
Good question. So in our stock markets, see, even when the markets are closed, a lot of things will happen. Okay,
All right.
and there is something called as a pre-open market. See, I told you right. See, our markets close at 3:30 p.m. But a lot of things will happen during this time also. So even after the markets close at 3:30 p.m., a lot of things like see, world is never sleeping and the global economy is never sleeping. So
Right.
when our market is closed, the international markets, the American markets, the European market, all these things are still being traded. Okay. So what happens is like these international markets will also bring in an influence to the Indian markets. Okay.
All right. Right.
And depending on that, so based on that, a lot of trades are actually going to happen. A lot of trades will be kind of happening. Even when the during the early market hours, so there is something called the pre-open market. So I told you the Indian stock market timing is 9:15 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. 9:15
Right.
a.m. to 3:30 p.m. However, there is a duration of time from 9 o'clock to like 9:08. So 9 o'clock to 9:08, there is something called as a pre-open market hours. Okay.
Okay.
Take into consideration the global things that has happened the previous night. So 3:30 now our market is closed. But tomorrow when the market opens, there's going to be a huge volatility, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'll give you one example. Uh, so okay, so we kind of had a lockdown for some good time.
Yeah.
Okay, we kind of had a good big lockdown for some good time, and what has actually happened is like all the beverage corporations were kind of closed, right, during this
Right.
lockdown. Then what kind of happened? Like all of a sudden one day when government said, okay, today beverage corporation is kind of going to get open, what kind of happened is that all the people, they kind of started rushing to the beverages. It created a lot of issues, like too much people coming together, a crowd coming together. It created a lot of issues, and that is the reason why Kerala government has actually come up with some mobile app and all, right? So they kind of thinking about pre-booking of beverages and stuff,
Right.
right? Yeah. Why did they do so? Like they're doing so to avoid this huge rush at the shop. Like
Right. Right.
yeah, so same logic over here. What is kind of going to happen is if nothing called as a pre-open market. So when the market opens at 9:15 a.m., there is going to be a huge rush, very
Right.
huge rush of trades that is going to happen. So that is not at all preferred.
Right.
Now, if the thing is that so in order to control that, we have something called as the pre-open market hours. That is from 9 a.m. to 9:08 a.m. So people are able to place their trades, and it is just like a matching process. So the price, so till the price reaches an equilibrium. So this matching will kind of take place from 9 o'clock to 9:08 a.m. You will basically place your bids. So there is kind of going to be matching or what do you say, order matching that is going to take place by 9:08 a.m. The prices will actually settle. So this is what we call as a pre-open market. So today pre-open market the prices actually settled at around positive 0.5 0.6 percentage compared to previous days closing. So pre-open market kind of opened by like a pre-open market, it kind of showed that index is going to be like 0.6 percentage up.
All
Understand?
right. Right. So like the pre-open market kind of looks at what that demand for that day might be when it
We
opens.
can totally depend on that, but majorly the pre-open market is actually being used by, let's say that I'm somebody who's going to trade a big quantity. I'm somebody who's going to purchase a very large bulk quantity. Okay.
Right.
Or let's say somebody who is actually accumulating positions for the long run. It can be a fund management firm. It can be a wealth management firm and all. They're actually purchasing stocks for the very long run. So those cases where what kind of happens is they kind of uh, place orders in the pre-open market. So it is a very highly volatile market. Pre-open is also very volatile. Very volatile meaning largely fluctuating. So if you see
Okay.
the price at 100 now, maybe next second is going to be at 101. It kind of fluctuates a lot. So as far as the retail traders, so we are all retail traders, meaning we are kind of trading for ourselves. So as far as the retail traders concerned, it is highly suggested that don't trade in the pre-open market. You wait for the market to open. The normal market, normal trading hours, 9:15 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. You wait for the markets to open. So you define your strategy, you define your entry, then you take a trade. Rather than directly entering based on the pre-open market, it's highly suggested that you wait for the market to settle before entering a trade.
Right, right.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is the reason we kind of see a variation, even though the closing was somewhere here, the next day opening was somewhere here. Okay. Now,
Right.
apart from that, we actually have a thin line above and below. Okay. So what this basically does is it kind of tells us what is the highest price achieved by the stock during this particular day. Sorry, during this particular interval of time. So in this case, I realized that the highest price of the stock was around 1460. Highest price kind of achieved by the stock was around 1460, and the lowest price achieved by the stock was around 1425. So I kind of get a sense of understanding of that as well. Highest price is like around 1461, lowest price is kind of around 1425. So the thin line on top and the thin line on below kind of tells us what is the highest price achieved by the stock during this particular interval of time. Now I'm looking at the 1 day time frame. If I want, I can switch to the 15-minute time frame. So 15-minute time frame meaning each candle kind of depicts 15 minutes interval of time. Okay. So
Right.
each candle kind of depicts 15 minutes. What has happened during 15 minutes interval of time. So
Right.
may if you people are kind of comfortable with whatever I have covered so far, so may just know that. So Gajendra is kind of asking if it is based on AM orders. Okay, Gajendra, the AM orders basically get a fill only after the market opens. Okay. So please don't get confused. So some people have this. I understand that there's somebody who's in this, who's doing this from some good time. So AMO order, like people think that okay, AMO orders are the one in pre-open market. So basically, AMO orders will get filled only after the market opens. Okay, not during the pre-open market hours. So if all of you are kind of comfortable with whatever has been covered so far, I think actually we can move forward. Can we buy stocks in pre-open market with our demat account? You can actually buy stocks. Okay, so there is basically no limitation that only some people can buy, some can buy. But your broker should permit you to trade in pre-open market. So you need a special permission. Okay. So I personally don't trade in pre-open. I think we can move forward, right? So far we have basically discussed about the candles. So I told you that the red candles mentions that the price has actually dropped down during this particular interval of time. Green candles tells us that stock prices, the price has actually picked up during this interval. Okay, can we buy stocks in? Okay, people are just aware of resistance. There is high probability for profit. Okay, delete. Yeah, good question. But the thing is, no, not exactly. Do you need to know how to interpret it in the right manner? Okay, so that is why strategies come into play. So just having a look at support and resistance definitely. We'll be able to identify the zones within which the price can basically travel, but that alone is not enough to get profitable. Can we convert shares from intraday to delivery? Yeah, you can do, but we need the money. Is it necessary to operate through brokers? Yeah, it is necessary that you need to operate through brokers. Okay, I'll just show you. So can I say that the price kind of got a support over here and it kind of got a resistance over here? What do you guys do? Can I say so? Can I kind of say that the price got a support over here and a resistance at the top? What do you people feel?
And what exactly would sort of be? I mean,
Yeah. So thank you, Rehan. I guess, Rehan, just a second. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, just don't mute yourself. Okay.
Okay.
Like, sorry, just mute yourself now. Like, I'll let you know when you should unmute.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So some audio is coming in. That's it. So basically, as I mentioned to you, support is a price level from where the stock price actually picks up. So the reason why stock price kind of picks up is due to the fact that people feel it is worth purchasing this product at this level, then it picks up. Then once it reaches a particular zone, they feel okay, it is overpriced, they start selling it. it drops down, the process kind of gets repeated for some good time. Picking up, finding a resistance here, falling down, picking up once again from here. Now I realize that the price is kind of finding a over here. Okay, so something else that you should kind of understand is that, see, a level that is kind of acting as a support level earlier, there is a chance that this can actually act as a new support. Okay, so this was earlier acting as a, sorry, this was earlier acting as a support. Now there is a high chance that this can act as the new resistance. So that is what is happening over here. So this was earlier acting as a support. Now it is kind of acting as a resistance. So old support, high chance that this can act as the new resistance. This is holding as a support over here too. How can we contact brokers? I'll give you all these details towards the end. Don't worry. I'll help you get started. Now, okay, so can you just enable your audio, Rehan?
Yep.
Yeah. So may I just kind of ask you, can you name it? Just tell me any other stock you want to have a look at.
Birla, is that a thing?
What?
Birla? Aditya Birla Groups. I don't know. ITC, yeah.
Okay,
Someone put it in there.
So ITC. Okay, so this is the chart. Like I have like some level some time back, not now. So can I say that the price kind of finds the support over here, it kind of finds a resistance over here?
Yeah.
So why do I say so? Can you just try interpreting the chart?
So a support because that's the lowest level it's reached and it's expected to go higher from there. And then a resistance because it starts to drop from that maximum point.
Okay, so basically what I really understand is the price is kind of picking up from here. Okay, price is kind of picking up from here, and due to the very same reason, I can call this as support. So here too, I realize, okay, looking at the charts, here too, I kind of realize that, okay, the price is kind of picking up from this zone or this level, price level. Earlier, this was acting as a resistance contact. Can I say that? This is acting as a resistance. What do you feel so, Rehan?
Yeah, because it was starting to drop from there. But then it again started picking up.
So basically, looking at this chart, I realized that, okay, the price is kind of hitting the zone, falling down, again picking up, finding resistance over here, falling down. This is kind of acting as an initial resistance. Then again, this is acting as a support, picking up, the price is kind of finding a resistance somewhere here, dropping down. See, all support once again acting as a support again, picking up, finding a resistance over here. Okay, so are you people able to follow what I'm mentioning? Like, are you able to follow?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So some of you are kind of asking me like, what time frame should I kind of be following? So I'll tell you that I personally follow right now to mark levels. I personally follow either the 15 minutes or the 5-minute time frame. Okay. So because like looking at the 15 minutes and 5 minutes time frame, I get a much better picture of what is happening. Okay. Because if I look at the 1-minute time frame, see, we have people who look at the 1-minute time frame also, but some sudden changes will be there. So this will kind of not help you get better clarity. So in Google Maps, what is going to happen if you're going to zoom in a lot? If you zoom in a lot, what is going to happen is you kind of end up getting confused. So it will be all pictures of trees and all. What will you understand from that? Looking at the pictures of trees, nothing. But what if you are basically zooming out? Okay, so when I mention zooming out, don't zoom out in the manner that you just see the map of India. So that way also you won't be able to figure out anything. However, if you kind of have the right adjustment, you'll be able to see the roads. Okay, which way you have to travel all these things. So selecting the time frame is also something similar to that. You should be kind of picking out the best time frame that is kind of most comfortable and suitable for you. So person to person, this can kind of vary. Okay. So if I say that I'm comfortable with the 5 minutes or 15 minutes time frame, that doesn't mean you should also be with the same time frame. So you should actually try it out yourself. But what I kind of realize is most of the people they get pretty much easily comfortable with the 5 minutes and the 15 minutes time frame. Okay. So is it kind of clear for you?
Yeah.
So can we have a look at some other example? Any other stock you would like to have a try? So, the audience, like not the audience, the other people. Anyone? Which stock? The Amazon is not in the Indian exchange. Bajaj Finance. Jio is also not there. Reliance is there. This is the chart of Bajaj Finance that we are seeing. Okay, so let's have a look at the 15 minutes time frame. So just clear out all the drawings so that things won't be much confusing for you. So people like almost all the charts that you're going to mention to me, like I'll be kind of having some. I'll kind of have already drawn some lines on this because these are some stocks that I personally track as well. Okay. Now looking at the chart of Bajaj Finance, can anyone say the price where you think that the prices stock is kind of facing a resistance now? Can anyone just try to answer? A price level where the stock is kind of finding a resistance now. Just try giving an answer. 1850. 1850.
At around 2090.
2090. Okay, the price has a resistance over here. I agree with that. Apart from that, can I say that the price has a resistance over here too? So where the price is currently now, or can I kind of say that the price is kind of finding a resistance over here? Can I say that? Okay. So Sahil is saying this is a support level. Perfect. So this price level was kind of acting as a support level earlier. So this was kind of acting as a support level. So now what kind of has happened is that this old support level has kind of started to act as the new resistance. Now the price is kind of finding a resistance over here. So this was kind of acting as a support earlier. Now this is kind of acting as a resistance. Right. So old support, which is kind of acting as a new support over here. So is there somebody else who thinks it is not acting as a resistance? Anyone else? 2300. Okay, that is like over here. So our first priority should always be to mark the levels that are kind of nearby. Okay, so rather than going for levels, okay, rather than kind of going for levels, price levels that is very much far away, it is always best that you mark support and resistance levels which are actually nearby. Okay, so are you people able to follow what I'm conveying? Right? Okay. So may I just move forward? Why no one is answering? Yeah. Okay. So are you people able to follow? Like,
Yeah.
please let me know honestly. Okay. In case you're not able to follow, please let me know that you're not able to follow. It's fine. If you don't understand, also it's fine. I can explain it. Okay. Yeah. Now, there's a current positions. Shouldn't we estimate? Yeah. So good question. Okay, so I guess you people must have got a basic understanding of what support is, what resistance is. So now if the current price is over here, if the current price is somewhere over here, then let's say that I told you this is a resistance level, right? So Rehan, let's say that this resistance level is actually getting broken.
Okay.
So till where can I kind of expect the price to move, Rehan?
2082, I guess.
2000?
82.
Okay, great. So what basically happens is once a particular resistance level is actually getting broken, you can very well expect the price to move towards the next resistance level. See what is going to happen if you jump from the fifth floor of a building. First you'll come down to the fourth floor, then you'll come down to the third floor, then you'll come down to the second and then to the ground floor, right? Similarly, if you kind of climbing stairs to the 10th floor, so you'll start from the ground floor, you'll go to the first, second, third. That is the way you're going to go, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, in the case of stock markets too, when you move from one level, you move to the next level. So it is not that directly from ground floor you'll go to the 10th floor. So from ground floor, you'll first go to the first floor, then second floor, third floor, that way. Okay. So similarly, in the case of stocks too, is the same manner. So we kind of move step by step. So one level is getting broken, the price actually moves towards the next level.
So
Okay.
that's 2000 here.
What? Yeah. So
So
in this case, in this case, what I can kind of say is, yeah. So definitely, if this level is getting broken, the next probable level would be somewhere here. So the price actually picks up. You can say that the price has the tendency to move towards the next level, that is somewhere here. Okay. Now, what if this level is also getting broken? If this level is getting broken, it has a tendency to move to the next level. So please keep in mind, if when I say this level getting broken, doesn't mean the price can't move here. It can move here, but there is going to be a checkpoint in between. So this level is kind of going to act as a checkpoint before the price is going to head till here. Okay, but if it breaks this level, there is a high chance. So this is all about probability. What I can say is there's a very high probability the price is actually going to pick up to the next level, that is somewhere over here. Okay.
right.
Yeah, so great. So yeah, Rehan, so I guess that's clear, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting, so I think I'll take some 2-3 questions now. So that's the current Priya. So there's a huge difference when we consider 1 minute and 15 minutes. Why? Obviously. So Dilip, if I kind of ask you what you did during the last one day, and if I ask you what you did during the last one month, there's going to be a huge difference, right? So similarly, what the stock kind of does during a 15-minute duration of time. So this is what the stock does in a 15-minute duration of time, this particular single candle. And this 1 minute candle is what the stock actually did in this particular 1 minute duration of time. So definitely it is going to be completely different, right? So I hope that answers your question. So any other questions? See, each minute is going to be there's going to be a difference. So I told you it is actually going to be dependent on the number of buyers and sellers. So this is something that kind of keeps on changing, okay? Not at all constant. It kind of keeps on changing throughout the day. So if this is actually keeping on changing throughout the day, definitely the values will also change. So is that clear for you? So any other questions? Any questions? Any questions specifically?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, sure, please.
Sir, earlier we expected the 2000 point of the stock to be the resistance, yeah.
Yeah.
But that day the trading was closed, yeah. So,
Okay.
and we know that that was a previous support point also.
Which point? So you're talking about Bajaj Finance or which stock?
Yeah,
Are you talking?
Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finance.
Okay.
The stock we just viewed.
Yeah. Just viewing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we knew that this point was a support point before.
Okay. Yeah.
And so there is a probability that it will go up here, the cost of the stock.
Okay. So what happens is,
So I'm asking if it is advisable to buy a stock at that point, imagining that the price will go up, or
Yeah,
should we consider it as a resistance region?
I'll tell you, Vishnu. It depends on where the price closes. Okay. So what happens is, so this is an old support level. Okay. So now what kind of happened is that the price has actually found a resistance over here. So this was an old support level. Now the price has actually found a resistance over here. Now let's assume that this resistance level is actually getting broken. That is, the price is actually breaking beyond this particular level. Okay, the price is actually breaking beyond this particular level. Then what you should actually do is, you should actually wait for this price to settle at a price above the resistance. Okay, I'll kind of talk to you in detail when it comes to the strategy. So now what you should kind of understand over here is, there is a high chance that if the price really doesn't break this level, this is kind of going to be a resistance. It is going to fall down from here. But if it breaks, okay, just think about your limitations. So okay, when I kind of say that my mom supports me or my dad supports me, so what I kind of mean literally is that, like, they are either supporting me either emotionally, okay, financially, all these things, right? So they might be supporting me in one or the other manner. Okay, now if I kind of say that this guy is kind of resisting me from doing something, or let's say that there are some limitations, in your life that is kind of resisting you from achieving something great. So what is kind of going to happen to you if you kind of get resisted because of those limitations? If you are kind of facing it as an obstruction, you're kind of going to face a resistance over there. From there, once again, you're going to fall down in life. What if you're kind of going to break through those obstructions? Definitely, you'll move towards your next level. You'll move towards the next level in your life. Only if you're capable of breaking above the resistance. Okay. So that is all about. That is the concept of support and resistance also in the case of stocks. So here it is not anything emotional or physical. Here basically the price levels are getting broken. So what needs to come in to break the price levels? Large number of buyers or sellers. If a resistance level needs to get broken, so this is the resistance level, the price is picking up. If this resistance level needs to get broken, a large number of buyers needs to come in. Now, if a particular support level needs to get broken, a large number of sellers needs to come in. Okay, so may I just know if you're able to follow? So we'll actually talk about a basic strategy. Don't worry. So I hope you're kind of able to follow, right? So within 15 minutes, if it falls at the first 10 minutes, so let's say that we buy it. So within 15 minutes, if it falls at the first 10 minutes, so let's say we buy it, and that next 10 minutes rises, that's again, then is this even possible? Like, we get profit, right? Even see, you can even make profits within seconds. Okay, you can even make profits within seconds. So you basically don't need to hold for 15 minutes. So your move should be right. So if you're buying at, let's say, 1,900, the price should actually pick up from that point. If you're selling at a particular value, the price should actually fall down from that point. Okay. How can you predict? Yeah, that is where strategy comes into play. So definitely, just blindly like that, we can't buy or sell something, right? So that is where we need strategies. So we'll get into that just a second. So I'll kind of introduce to you a basic strategy. Don't worry, so that all of you can kind of try it out yourself. Okay. Now, before I move forward, before I kind of move any further, like, I just wanted to tell you that it is very important that you personally try trading only on stocks from Nifty 50. So if you have seen the introductory video, you must have understood what the index is. So may I just know what index, like, may I just know, like, Rehan, like, what do you mean by an index? So if you have all the introductory video, definitely you'll be knowing. Rehan, could you try answering?
It's the marketplace, right? There are two main marketplaces. One is NSE and one is Bombay Stock Exchange.
Yeah. Then what is NSE and BSE? Oh, sorry,
They're
what?
the-
They are the exchanges.
yeah.
Now, what do you mean by index then?
Is it the list of companies within each of them?
No. Okay, so I guess, is there somebody else who could answer? Yeah, so yeah, perfect. So basically what the index says is, so let's say that we have 74 people attending the session now. Yesterday, I guess we had somewhere around 120. Right, today we just have like 74. So what basically an index mentions is, index is nothing else. It kind of tells you the average performance of the top 50 companies in terms of, so one of our friends has actually asked about the free float market capitalization. The top 50 companies listed in the National Stock Exchange in terms of free float market capitalization. So their weighted market, their weighted average price is kind of taken into consideration, depending on their free float market capitalization. So that is what we mean by the Nifty 50. So you must have actually very well actually heard about what Nifty 50, Sensex 30, all these things. So they are the benchmark indices. They're the benchmark index or benchmark indices, which basically tells us what is happening with the major stocks in our company. In our country. Okay, what is kind of happening with the major stocks in our country. So what do I realize over here? So today I kind of looking at the charts, I kind of realized that the index is up about 3%. So what would have actually happened with the stocks in Nifty 50? So what could have kind of happened with the major stocks in Nifty 50? So most of the stocks, it kind of had a bullish trend. Bullish meaning uptrend. So 41 stocks increased in value, whereas just 9 companies dropped in value. Okay. So almost all companies had performed good today. Almost all companies had performed some really good today. So today our index was actually pretty much bullish. So bullish meaning the price of the stocks are actually picking up. Okay. So Rehan, so what does basically index do? It kind of tells us how
The performance
the
of
performance of
the
the
market.
major stocks. So what I can kind of tell you is, so these stocks in the Nifty 50, they're very crucial. So is there any company whose name you haven't heard about? I'll just gradually scroll. Infi stands for Infosys. L&T. So is there any company over here you people must have actually heard about? SBI card is something else. So these are the top 50 companies on the National Stock Exchange in terms of market capitalization. Okay. So the thing over here is that, so it is very well, it'll be very well known to you. SEAL you haven't heard. Have you heard about Sea Entertainment? Have you heard about Sea Entertainment? So don't tell me, yeah. So then don't tell me you didn't hear about SEAL. Okay. Okay, Grasim, yeah, fine. You must have haven't heard about, fine. So these are the top 50 companies, people. They're the top 50 companies in terms of market capitalization. What I can kind of tell you is that these companies, I can say they are basically capable of driving the economy of the country also. Okay. It is actually also able to make an influence on the economy of the country because they are such big companies. Okay, so I guess like if we have people who are working at this session, people who are working attending the session, some of you must be working in any of these companies, right? So there will be people who are working in TCS, Infosys, Wipro, attending this session even. So these are the companies who are kind of capable of driving the prices in this particular country. Okay. So what I want to tell you is, having a look at the index basically tells us what is the outlook on the economy. So today we see that the stock markets were really bullish. Like the participants, they had a positive side view about the stocks, about the companies, about the country. That is the reason we kind of had a bullish market condition today. Right. Now, I request each person. Can you please mute yourself? Some sound is coming. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. So I kind of request, like when you kind of are getting started with the markets, I kind of request that you people make sure that you look forward. So let it be you are investing or let it be when you're trading. So somebody who's an absolute fresher. So people will have a tendency to think about purchasing penny stocks and low quality stocks. Okay. So rather than that, it is always highly suggested that you trade stocks like these. Okay. You kind of trade stock from the Nifty 50. So the reason I'm kind of mentioning to you is the volume is going to be very high. So yesterday we also explained, right, why NSE is more preferred rather than BSE when it comes to trading. So what was the answer? Okay. So NSE, the reason was that we mentioned that there's a huge volume, meaning a large number of people actively trading in the National Stock Exchange as compared to the Bombay Stock Exchange, and that is the reason. That is the reason people kind of prefer National Stock Exchange more than Bombay Stock Exchange. Similarly, why I kind of tell you about the what do you say to trade on Nifty 50 stocks is due to the fact that the number of people who will be trading this will be kind of much higher as compared to the number of people trading other stocks. Okay, the volume is very much important. So only then we'll kind of be able to okay we'll kind of be able to uh, enter and exit according to our wish. Let's say like if the volume is less, it is kind of quite difficult to get an entry as well as to get an exit. Fine. So we kind of getting why NSE have more even though it is not the oldest one. I gave the answer yesterday actually. So we started in India first, Amazon or Flipkart. Which one do people prefer more? Same way. Fine. Okay. So why do Indian markets follow the index? Okay, so it is something that is kind of out of topic, but I'll definitely let you know. No issue. Just a second. I'll just take out the chart. So basically, what kind of do we see over here? So this is a website called investing.com. So it'll kind of pretty much help you. Okay, it will kind of pretty much help you in viewing what is kind of happening with the world indices. So what I kind of tell you is like right now what is kind of happening, whatever is kind of making an impact on the stock markets is nothing else but the corona. Okay. So what is kind of happening over here? So right now what we are kind of facing is that because of corona, different indices, almost all indices has actually had a big drop. And what I can say is Dow is kind of the mother of all indices. Okay. So mother of all indices meaning like how mother behaves, children have a chance to get characteristics of the mother or father. So you can say father or mother of all indices. So Dow and the other international exchanges, basically they kind of bring in an influence on the Indian market as well. So what do we see over here? Dow is up by 1.42%. So similarly, our index is up by around 3% today. High volume means easy to liquidate. Yeah, yes. So why I'm not able to see anyone's chat? How companies give dividends to its customers. You'll actually get it through your bank account. Don't worry about that. Okay. So Bank Nifty is another index. So I'll show you about Bank Nifty too. Don't worry. So I told you about Nifty 50, right? So Nifty 50 takes into consideration the top 50. See, I don't know why like my screen is also being shown now. There is something wrong. No, right. Okay. So yeah, so Nifty 50 is the index of National Stock Exchange. So it takes into consideration the weighted average of top 50 companies. Okay. Now, when it comes to Sensex 30, so there's something else called Sensex 30. So Sensex 30 takes into consideration the major stocks of the Bombay Stock Exchange. Okay, it takes into consideration the major stocks of the Bombay Stock Exchange, and it is mentioned Sensex 30 because it takes into consideration the top 30 companies. So if you don't understand that, like you should once again watch the what do you say? You should kind of watch the introductory video I have actually sent. So once again, Bank Nifty is also another index. So it basically takes into consideration only the banking stocks. When Nifty 50 takes into consideration all the major companies, Bank Nifty takes into consideration only the major banking stocks. So they are HDFC, ICICI, Kotak, Axis, SBI India, Bandhan Bank, Federal Bank, IDFC, okay, IDFC, IndusInd Bank, Bank of Baroda, PNB, RBL Bank, all these things. Okay. So I hope it's clear to you. What about mid cap? So there is a different index for that. There is a completely different index for that. It was mentioned that we can borrow stocks, sell it at a price, buy it back, and return the stocks to make profit. How can we borrow stocks? Okay. So yeah, I'll give you this concept. Okay. So people have this assumption. People kind of have this assumption that as a stock trader, you can make money only when the price picks up. Okay. You can kind of make money only when the price picks up. But the answer is kind of no. As a stock trader, you can even make money when the price actually falls down. Okay, when the stock price falls down, also you can make money. In the case of intraday trading, so I suppose like you must have seen what intraday trading is. So intraday trading meaning you buy and sell within the same day. So you sell something first and you buy it back on the very same day. So this is kind of what we mention as intraday trading. You sell something first, you buy it back on the very same day. Okay. So in intraday trading, you always have the provision to sell something first and you buy it back at a lower price. So this is what we basically mean by short selling. I'll tell you how it works. So let's assume that you're borrowing some stocks from your friend. You're selling it off. Now, before the market closes that particular day, you'll buy it back at a lower price and you return it back to your friend. So if you sell and if the price has actually dropped down, you'll make money. So let's assume that you are selling at around 2005. Once the price actually drops down to around 18,050, you'll buy it back. So you sell somewhere here, you buy it back somewhere over here. So in the process, so the selling price minus buying price is the profit that you kind of have, you make. Okay. Now, you people will be having this doubt. What if the price goes up? If the price goes up, you'll be having to buy it at a higher value. You sell at a lower value, you buy it at a higher value, meaning you go in loss. Now, please don't think that you will be able to sell it first and you can actually avoid buying it back. It won't work. Something you sell, always you have to buy it back. If you don't buy it back by yourself, your broker will buy it back for you. Okay. So it is kind of not possible to kind of think about like you sell, you receive the money, then you don't buy it back. Definitely, if you sell, you had to buy it back. So Uttara is kind of asking what are the benefit of the stock owner. Okay. So Uttara, I told you, you're borrowing from your friend. So basically, you're not borrowing it from your friend. I'll tell you how the process works. So in the stock markets, the trading hours is between 9:15 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Okay, so 9:15 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. is the stock market trading hours. So even though 9:15 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. is the stock trading hours, the final settlements happen only after the markets close at 3:30. Only after the markets closes at 3:30, the final settlements happen. So when they kind of check, so let's say that when they kind of check, you have sold some 100 quantities of Bajaj Finance at 2,000 rupee. Now, before the market closed, you have actually bought back the 100 quantities at 9,400, 1,900. So 100 quantities you have sold at 2,000. Before the market has closed, you have bought back at 1,900. So that is totally permissible. You sold 100, you buy it back 100. You buy back 100. So it is actually just like you borrow some shares from your stockbroker, and before the market closes, you settle it. Okay. So basically, you are basically borrowing it from your stockbroker. So you don't have to click. Don't have to call your broker or something. Can we buy stocks from one broker and sell them to other broker? No. You have to change the demat. It's a very cumbersome process. You have to transfer the shares from one demat to the other. Why do you want to do that? What will happen if the shares is our own and not my friend? Okay, so meaning you're selling it off. Then why? Then you don't have to buy it back. Okay, if you bought something and you sold it, that is something else, man. You're buying something. So over here, what I'm saying is you have a view that the price is going to fall down. So borrow stocks as in. So Nilima, let's say that you have an outlook that Bajaj Finance is going to fall down tomorrow. Price is going to fall down. So what you can do is you can actually sell shares of Bajaj Finance. So don't think that there is something like you had to place a request to borrow or something like that. You had to send, like in Google Pay and all, you sent the receive money request and all, right? Nothing like that. If I want to buy, I click on this button. If I want to sell, I click on this button. Sell this button, buy this button. Okay, so I'll kind of teach you how to place order and all. Don't worry about that. Most probably I will give you a set of recorded videos that you can watch. Okay, because we kind of have some limitation of time, right? So I'll send you a recorded video like how to place order. So I'll also share with you some live trades of short selling, long positions. I'll share some live trades too with you so that you can have a look at it. Okay. Now, some are having this question, if we sell and then buy it the same year. So if you sell something the same day itself, you have to buy it back. Okay. Something that you sell, the very same day you have to buy it back. So it is not like you sell today, some other day you can buy it back. You sell it today, before the market closes at 3:30, you actually have to buy it back. Now, if you don't buy it back by yourself, your broker will buy it back for you. Okay. Now, since some of you have this, I'll actually give you a content that you can watch. Just hold on. So during your free time today, you can watch this video and I'll kind of give you a better explanation about short selling. So if I sell, whom are we selling to? Somebody else on the other hand who's buying it, who feels that it is worth buying it. If we sell first and then, can we wait till it goes slow? Same day you had to buy it back. You said if we want to sell, we just click the sell button and it'll be sold. Whom is this getting sold to? See, somebody else on the other hand side who's buying. So just like you're selling over here, somebody else is always there on the other hand side who is buying it. Okay, so but what if no one is there to buy? So that is what I told you. Okay, so in the case of what do you say? In the case of Nifty 50 stocks, so just have a look at the volume over here. Volume is how much? 7 crore 24.5 lakhs. Okay, so this is the kind of volume that is being traded. So have a look at the stock Reliance. What is the volume that is being traded? 1 crore 64 lakhs. So do you think that there is going to be an issue where you are selling and nobody is buying it back? Do you think that issue will be there? No, right. See, that's what I told. Stock market is a very active place. The broker buys back the stock for us. Do we had to pay some additional charges? So that is called as auto square off charges. So we shouldn't be doing that. If the worst case, so that is what I told, then you won't be able to place a trade only. You won't be able to place a trade. So those Nifty 50 and all, like those kind of situation, like what I can say is rarest of the rarest cases. Okay, you're kind of trading good stocks. That is why I told you you kind of keep it a practice to trade in quality stocks. So I'll show you one stock. Okay, name of the stock is Ruchi Soya. So what is kind of happening? Just look at the chart over here. So what is happening with the stock? Any idea? The stock, what I can kind of say is continuously the price was actually picking up. Opening, moving up, opening, moving up. Continuously the price was actually picking up. But now what is happening is continuously the price is falling down. Here what was happening is only buyers were there, nobody was there willing to sell. Now what is happening is only sellers are there, nobody is there willing to buy. Okay, so if you trade on Nifty 50 stocks, you are not going to face these kind of situations. So when you kind of go after some penny stocks, that is when you're going to face these kind of situations. Okay. So today we basically saw the concept of support and resistance. We kind of talked about short selling. Okay. Now, what I think we'll take just a 2-minute break. Just a 2-minute break. I just want to drink some water. Okay. So let's kind of take a 2-minute break. Okay. So I hope you people too had a break. We're getting some questions. If we sell a stock at a higher price, why would someone want to buy it at a higher price? See, Madhu, okay, two reasons could be there. So you go to a shop and buy a particular product, right? So why does the shopkeeper sell it to you? Can't he keep the product to himself? See, he bought at a lower price. He's selling it to you at a higher price. So two things can be there. So one case would be the person who's selling the stock to you has already bought it at a lower price. He's happy with the profits. He's selling it to you. The other thing is that maybe he bought at a higher price, but now he feels that the price is going to fall down further. So he's selling it to you. See, when you're buying something, your view is price is going to move up. And somebody else, on the other hand, is selling something, his view is that the price is going to fall down. So just like real estate, right? Then else there won't be no real estate transactions, right? Somebody views that the price is going to pick up, they buy. Somebody feels the price is going to fall down, they sell. Okay. How are the buy or sell options active now also? So it is not active now. Only I just showed you the what thing you use. Market is closed. Fine. Okay, I guess you can kind of move forward. So what we kind of realize over here is that both Sensex and Nifty are kind of behaving almost same. Sensex is up by 3.25%. Nifty is also up by 3%. Almost same both. If we sell a stock, should we buy the same stock from same person on that day? No. You can buy it back from someone else, obviously, right? Somebody else who's selling it, you can buy it back from him. Now, let's quickly have, yes, at a higher price. At a higher price, what is the intention of the person who is buying it? Why would he buy it? Okay, so Chandra, Pavan, like, does your mom use, does your mom kind of tell you that, okay, so my mom kind of tells me when she was young, the price of gold was this much rupees. Now the price of gold is this much rupees. Does your mom tell you that? So we still have people buying gold, right? Because people find value in it. Okay, so people find that there is a value in this particular product. That is the reason they buy it. They feel the price is going to go up, right? Definitely. If you bought something, you're selling it at a higher price. The price has actually increased because the value has like people feel there is a demand for it, right? What is going to happen? What is kind of going to happen in a case if there is no demand for it? Then definitely the price will drop down, right? See, earlier and all, the price of one DVD player, uh, like one DVD was there, like one DVD, like Moser Bear. I don't know if you know the brand name. Moser Bear DVD, like if you want to buy one Moser Bear DVD, you had to pay around 50 rupee. Now today, if I sell it to you for 10 rupee, will you buy it from me? Will you buy it from me for 10 rupee? No, you won't buy it from me because you know there is no use of it now. Okay. What should we buy back the stock? Why should we buy back? So that is a rule. Okay. So if you short sell something, so that is a case of short selling. If you short sell something, you have to buy it back the same day. So I suppose you should kind of watch this video once. So people should watch this video to give you a better clarity. Okay. Now let's kind of move forward. So any like people like any idea like how we should select a stock for trading? So when you're looking forward to trade, any idea like what all things we should kind of consider? So let's get started with that. We'll see a basic strategy too. So it'll be completed only by tomorrow. Today we'll just get started. So first of all, what we should kind of do is, so this is the, so I'm kind of talking about trading. Okay, so balance sheet and all, it is basically for investing. So I'm actually going to talk about the trading side. So PE ratio, all these things is for investing, not for trading. So first thing that you should kind of do is, you should basically build your favorite watch list. So watch list is nothing else but a sheet where you kind of add your favorite list of stocks. Okay, I'll just so let's say that so some of my favorite stocks I'll show you. So ICICI Bank, like one of my favorite stocks. Apart from that, Reliance is one another. So we have Tata Motors, Escorts, ITC, Sun Pharma, Biocon. Okay, so these are basically some stocks that I kind of actively observe, actively trade under. Okay, these are some stocks. So apart from that, like from the pharmaceutical sector, the Lupin, Axis Bank, something is wrong. Okay, so these are some stocks that I personally observe. Okay, so first of all, you should kind of, so today ICICI Bank has actually shot up by around 8.9 percentage. That is, if you purchase some shares yesterday, today the price has actually rose by 10 percentage. Okay. First of all, let's kind of try to identify. So too many lines are there because been working some good time on this. Just remove the lines. So you kind of pick out your favorite set of stocks. So if you kind of ask me like how to pick out my favorite set of stocks, the answer is that you should put in some efforts picking out stocks, working on watching stocks, all these things. So I have given you the stocks I'm personally observing. Right, I have given you that also. Something is wrong with this, I guess. Okay. Now, let's find trending stocks. Okay. So can somebody tell me, okay, just can someone try answering like what you would mean by a stock that is trending? So what would you kind of mean by that a stock is trending? So can someone just try answering? Famous, more volume, any other answers? Or trading? Yeah. So trending meaning, okay. So trending meaning a stock that kind of has a particular direction associated with it. Okay. A stock that kind of has a particular direction associated with it. Okay, not just, yeah, so yeah, many people will actually be trading in it. Many people will actually be trading in it actively. I agree with that. Okay. So what basically I meant is a large number of people should be actively trading in it. So that is very important. That is also important. That is what we mean by volume. Apart from that, trending stock meaning a stock that has a particular direction associated with it. So if I kind of have a look at this particular stock, ICICI Bank, can somebody tell me like what the trend associated with it for the last 3 to 5 days? Let's kind of consider the last 3 to 5 days. What has been the trend associated with the stock? Downwards. Last 3 to 5 days. 3 to 5 days, including today. Okay, we're getting some answers. So what I can say is if I kind of consider the last 3 to 5 days, today, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can say that okay, the stock kind of had an uptrend. Okay, but what I realized over here is something that is kind of a bit bad in this case is just today it was up. Just today we had a green candle. Apart from that, all the other days it was red candle. So just today we had a green candle. Apart from that, all the other days the candles were clearly down. Only today we had a green candle. So I kind of realized that okay, I kind of realized that okay, so we kind of had a green candle today, but more or less, this is like the overall trend. I can't say it is green because just one single day it was up. The rest all it was down. Let's have a look at some other stuff. So any stock you want to have a look at, let's have a look at Sun Pharma then. If I kind of consider Sun Pharma last 3 to 5 days, what is the trend associated with this? So what is the kind of trend associated with this stock for the last 3 to 5 days? So basically, like if I kind of consider 3 to 5 days in the case of Sun Pharma, the thing is that Sun Pharma, like I can't say is a clear uptrend nor a clear downtrend. It's kind of sideways, right? Sun Pharma is kind of sideways. I can say it didn't move up, it didn't move down. It's kind of same where it was. Like it is at the same place. 3 to 5 days where the price was almost the same place the prices are now. So this too really doesn't have a clear trend associated with it. Now let's kind of have a look at some other stock. For example, so which one was, yeah, Bajaj Finance. Okay, great. So 3 to 5 days, how is the trend associated with it? If I kind of ask like last 3 to 5 days. So yeah, so I can kind of say, okay, not today's case is kind of very. So today's case, what kind of happened is that all the stocks that were performing down is up today. All the stocks that were down earlier is kind of up today, and all the stocks that were up earlier is kind of down today. Okay. So today's case scenario, Bajaj Finance, like if you kind of ask me, I can't clearly define a trend. Wherever the price was earlier, is somewhere over here. But something that I kind of find very interesting is the price is at a resistance. The price is kind of at a resistance. In the case of Bajaj Finance, the price is kind of at a resistance. So can't you see that? So what about the volume associated with the Bajaj Finance stocks? Like how is the kind of volume? Volume is also kind of pretty much good. I realize that people are participating in it. It is kind of at a resistance level. So can't I check out for a trade on the stock tomorrow? So what do you people feel? So isn't there a possibility for me to check out a trade on the stock? It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of a particular level, right? So the price is kind of settling at a particular level. I kind of consider this waiting for a price to go down. Okay, so two kind of opportunities are there. So looking at the candle, what I realize is that the price actually got a resistance over here. So when the price actually picked up, it kind of found a resistance over here. Like the price actually got pushed down. Now once again it is at a resistance over here. Now let's say that tomorrow the price kind of opens somewhere over here. It tries to break above this level. The price basically breaks above with some good volume above this particular level. I would consider initiating a long position, meaning I would try initiating a buy position on the stock, expecting the price to move towards these levels with my stop loss somewhere over here. So to make things clear, just a second. Like, do we have a marker in this? Like Google Meet, we have one in, what do you call that? Zoom meeting. Do we have a marker in Google Meet? Any idea? Do we have a marker or something? No. Okay. Okay, fine, no issues. So we'll see tomorrow, don't worry. So let's say this is a level, we all understand that. The price kind of closes above this particular level. So let's say that tomorrow the price kind of closes above this particular level. Okay, so price is finding a resistance over here. The price, let's say the price kind of closes somewhere above this particular level. So I may initiate a long position, meaning a buy position on the stock, expecting the price to move towards the next level, keeping my stop loss somewhere here. So I would kind of keep my stop loss somewhere over here. I would initiate a long position, expecting the price to kind of move towards the next level. So long position meaning you look forward to buy first, then you sell it off at a higher value because your view is that price is going to move up. Okay. Now, some of you kind of may have this doubt. Okay, kind of may have this doubt. Will I just directly take a trade or will I look at some other parameters too? Yeah, definitely. I will also look into some other things. So first of all, I'll make sure that the index is kind of showing a bullish sentiment. Okay, index is showing a bullish sentiment, meaning a positive side sentiment. So the easiest way to interpret it is like looking at the advance decline ratio. So advances meaning the number of stocks that is having an upside trend. Declines meaning the number of stocks out of 50 having a negative side trend. So I realize 41 advances, decline is 9. This is a really good trending situation, right? So 41 is showing upside move, 9 are showing downside move. So it's a good situation to take a trade. So if the advances are favorable, definitely I will consider taking a long position on Bajaj Finance, expecting the price to move towards the next level, that is somewhere over here. So based on the like the first opening candles closing, somewhere at the low, I'll keep my stop loss. I will initiate a long position. Okay. So we'll have a look at it tomorrow. Tomorrow, like let's see what happens. So let's kind of see what kind of happens. Okay, so tomorrow too, let's kind of see what kind of happens. So we'll definitely have a look at it. Okay, so for the day, we have actually talked about support and resistance levels. I have basically given you some insight about how to look at levels, how to interpret levels. Now, I will also give you some insights on how to keep your stop loss. Okay. So I told you that if I'm taking a long position from this level, I will expect the price to move towards this level to be my next target. If I'm buying from here, I will expect the price to move towards here to be my first target. If this level also breaks, the next target level will be somewhere here. Okay. Now the question is, what about the risk that I should be taking? So what about the kind of risk that I should be taking in this trade? Any idea? Any idea? Wait time. No. Just try giving an answer. Just try answering. It's fine even if it goes wrong, but make sure that you give an attempt. Okay, putting limits, nothing higher than the current price. Could you please, yeah. So my question is, if I'm going to buy it over here, right? If I'm going to buy it over here, till where can I told you, my first probable target would be the next level. That would be somewhere over here. this is the kind of target I kind of check out for. My question is like, what would be the kind of risk I had to take in this trade? Risk meaning where I should keep my stop loss. Just try giving an answer. So just make sure that you make an attempt. Okay. One candlestick less from the buying position, 1814. What you can't afford, you can afford. No, not actually. Half of the profit. Not actually. Yeah. So what you are saying is one methodology, but I don't do that. Okay. So I personally consider. I personally consider like where would the support be in this case if I had to take a long position. Definitely, the next target I'm checking out for is the next resistance level, right? So in that case, definitely my first, like the risk I had to take should be, I should keep my stop loss at a point where I understand that my view goes wrong. So depending on the support, I'll kind of consider keeping my stop loss. Definitely, I would consider keeping my stop loss at a point where my view has gone wrong. So I'm also sharing a video with you. Okay, I'm also sharing a YouTube video with you. So during your free time, just make sure that you have a look at it. This will basically introduce you to the concept of risk management. So kindly try doing that during your free time. So just have a look at this video. It's nearly a 45-minute video. So have a look at that video. Let's kind of get back tomorrow. We'll kind of get started with the strategy. We'll kind of finish the strategy tomorrow. Post that, I will also share a video with you to explaining like how to place an order, everything. How to place an order. I will also show you some sample trades. So we kind of have a lot of limitation of time. So let's kind of see what happens. Okay, so please have a look at these videos. Get back tomorrow. We'll get started with the strategy. Meanwhile, you can clarify your doubts also towards the end. Then, of course, that you can actually get in touch with me. So we can have a discussion on whatever we have discussed based on the strategy. Okay. So I hope it's clear for all of you. So Vishnu, I guess we can stop for the day. It's already 2 hours. We have talked a lot. So is there something specific you want to ask me? If you have any doubts, feel free. Please let me know if you have any doubts. You could even enable your audio and ask me.
Anyone with any queries, may please ask right now.
Any videos on support levels and resistance? Yeah, sure. I can share a video. Just hold on. So you can kind of have a look at this video. You can have a look at this video. Just know what I shared. Any other questions?
If no other questions, I think we can wind up for today.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir, for the session. It was really informative.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, thank you, Vishnu. So we'll catch up tomorrow. So we'll discuss the strategy tomorrow. We'll see. Apart from that, like I'll share some videos with you, like where you can kind of watch about how to place and order all these things. I'll even share some live trade videos. Don't worry. So yeah. So thank you. We'll kind of wind up for the day. So bye.
Thank
All.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
We'll share the recorded session of all of the class after the all sessions are completed in our YouTube channel.